Russian know-how from Mikhail Kroll. If you guys look up the surname Kroll, you'll find some interesting but not surprising associations with.
Michael believes that America is the land of limitless opportunities, so wonderful that even Americans do not grasp its wonders. What the communists have been fighting and killing for 60 years, America has achieved and doesn't even know it. A peculiarly Soviet view.
This is also Curtis Yarvin's view. And Yarvin, while his ancestors didn't emigrate to the U.S. in the 1970s and 80s from communist Jewish Russia, they did in like the 1920s. And he's talked about that. Oh, they were even better Americans than Americans were as soon as they got here. But AIACC was one of his, big, I guess, takes, his hot takes. America's already a communist country.
It's so hard for them to adjust because there was something there, they're nothing here. They had power.
They were something there, they are nothing here. They had power.
They had authority, they were respected. And they come here like they were managers and bosses, and they had all those people who listened to them and who respected them. They come here and they're nothing.
Why, if you have all of that, would you fucking leave? First of all, don't leave. Don't leave the country of your fucking ancestors, right? If you have generations of your tree in the dirt, you cannot leave. And, seeing how things are in Russia now, they probably shouldn't have left. But it's so silly. Like, just looking at a gift horse in the mouth. They had all this power. They held all these people under them. And I'm sure they're not just, like, lying to their children. I'm sure these people actually had great jobs of prominence while their kids sat at home. And then mom and dad would come home and say, oh, here's how great I am. Here's how much status I have in Russian society. But, come on. Sour grapes. Oh, the grass is surely greener where this nice man with the long nose tells me about freedom lives. Maybe I'll go over there and they can give me lots of free stuff.
In Russia, friendships are only real thing people have in present. It is the greatest luxury, the greatest treasure we have.
This treasure, this Russian friendship, has fallen victim to the capitalist system.
In Russia, it's the friendship of paupers. We have nothing we can share with one another. You have a bottle of booze, you can share it with your friend. It costs nothing except of pleasure. You have a piece of bread, you can cut it in halves. Two are fed up. In America, it's more complicated.
Yeah, this is probably mostly a result of being dunked into an urban bug hive filled where every block, every couple blocks, you have a different ethnic enclave. For those of you who are from New York City who are listening, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's not like some cities where they have a token ethnic enclave like Little China or Little Italy or whatever, Chinatown, Koreatown. They have every single imaginable ethnicity town in maybe a 2 or 3 block or a square mile area. And it gets totally wild. Like you even have all the Lubavitchers living in single areas in New York City and like in Crown Heights in a square mile that has 100,000 members of the Lubavitcher Rebbe's congregation. Like a single square mile with 100,000 Orthodox Jews living in it, okay? That's the kind of thing you get in New York City. So I can't imagine how difficult it would be to make friends or not feel alienated being fresh off the boat in New York City in a giant rat hive of other people who are nothing like you all around you, who can't even speak English, much less your language. You have no common language and you have no common experiences. Wow, I can't believe that's really alienating.
God, what a cult we had created of the West. Not only were we naive, the KGB was naive. If they knew how we'd be treated in the West, they would have thrown us out long ago.
You see, Russian poets, Russian dissident writers are as famous in Russia as rock stars, movie stars in America. They're admired, they're adored, women are happy to make love to them, friends are happy to supply them with booze or support, whatever.
Why would you leave if you have it like that? Why would you leave if that's your position and station in life. And if that's what you can achieve where you're from in that line of work, why would you leave? Are they liars? Are they crazy? Like, something's not adding up here. And like Book Cat says, and I brought this up earlier, you get this sad story all the time. I was king shit over there. You know, it's the cabbie story. It's the guy who's like mopping out the toilets in the public restroom. Oh, you don't know how I used to be a big baller. It's like in Napoleon Dynamite, where his uncle is, you know, constantly throwing the football around and talking about his salad days. So yeah, something's not adding up here.
I actually miss the KGB. They paid attention to me. They were the first to read my manuscripts thoroughly. It was wonderful to have real attention. You are not alone. You feel important. You feel like a real writer. You must be a real writer if they are watching you so closely.
Wow. And that kind of speaks to what you see over here with transgressive behavior on the dissident right. Like, it's almost a point of pride or achievement that the feds are watching. You know, oh, I must be important. Not to shit on anybody who wheels that line out, because it's correct, but you see this guy talking about it from, you know, 40 years ago.